The Bear has to be one of my favorite shows that is out at the moment, and it definitely deserves all of the Emmys that it took home. Episode 7 of season 2, titled Fork, really stood out to me as it captured a really pivotal shift in Richie's character and his perspective on his own life. It's honestly such a powerful episode about purpose and meaning, and it just hits so deep for me. Richie's struggle is something that everyone can relate to. So let's jump straight into the breakdown. At the start of the season, Richie is lost. He was lacking purpose and not where he wanted to be in life, now having hit 45 years old. He felt like he should have achieved more in his life and that he's wasted his potential. He's no longer with Tiff and he only sees his daughter on a pre-arranged basis. He was getting up every day and life was just seemingly passing him by. His previous job at the restaurant was what he really held onto as something he was proud of, and he dealt with having to let Carmen take back control in the last season. So while he's come to terms with that and wants to support the restaurant's new direction, he just can't see a clear vision for how he can contribute. He fears that he's just not useful and that everyone will eventually leave him because he's got nothing to offer. He instinctually floats around, trying to insert himself into everything, shouting and being loud, asserting authority where he really just has none, just as a way to make himself feel better. And this caused the very alienation he wanted to avoid. In summary, Richie just feels useless, and he suffers from a lack of meaning. He struggles to understand Carmen and his unwavering passion for cooking. He envies Carmen. He sees his best friend's kid brother succeeding in life, having moved to New York to work at the best restaurant. Meanwhile, Richie's life is just crumbling. He fears he has no purpose and he resents the people that have it. This episode centers around Richie going to stage at a Michelin star restaurant that Carmen previously worked at, essentially being an unpaid intern for a week. Richie drags his feet and he resents Carmen for making him work at the restaurant. And you can see this in his initial opinion of the restaurant. He finds it gaudy and obnoxious. He views everyone that works there as being stuffy and pretentious. Richie gets to work, where his only task is to polish forks, and he sees a sign on the wall saying every second counts. And at this stage, to Richie, these words essentially mean some form of purgatory, spending every second working on a menial task. Richie views this job as punishment, and he makes it clear he's doing the work to not give Carmen the satisfaction of being right about him being useless. His motivation is to prove him wrong. Richie continues to clean the forks, but he isn't very diligent and expresses frustration that he's stuck doing a repetitive task and complains to his supervisor, Garrett. Garrett candidly asks Richie if he thinks cleaning forks is beneath him, and Richie confirms that he does. Yes, it's beneath him because he's a 45-year-old and he sees this whole thing as him doing a favor for the restaurant. Garrett explains that he takes his job extremely seriously. He's all in, and working at this restaurant is his dream, and he needs Richie to understand this and to respect him, the workers, the diners, and himself. He reminds him that people wait a very long time to have the opportunity to dine at the restaurant.
Every day here is the freaking Super Bowl.
The realization that this is a valuable opportunity that people honestly would die for starts to dawn on Richie. Instead of seeing the people around him as stuffy tryhards, he starts to see all their meticulous hard work and attention to detail, all in service of the same goal, to provide the ultimate dining experience for their customers by going that extra mile and bringing them genuine joy. So Richie's skepticism starts to fade away. Richie graduates from cleaning a million forks and starts to shadow Garrett.
No more forks? No more forks.
He begins to learn more about how the restaurant operates and really starts to appreciate why they are considered the best and why people want to dine there. The communication via little notes between servers, the timing of the courses, speeding things up for difficult guests, slowing things down for diners who are reveling in the moment, prepping balloons for birthdays, double-checking dishes for allergies. Richie is impressed, especially by the ultra-confident and composed back-of-house expediter, Jessica, as she's orchestrating the staff and the flow of orders and dishes, and she says that she does this intense work because
every night you make somebody's day.
Huh?
You ask me how I can do this, and that's how I can do this.
Richie starts to see the patterns and understands what is happening. He sees the food go out to the diners and he sees their amazement and appreciation for it. Richie even sees the chef go above and beyond to give a diner the best experience possible. After having heard they hadn't had a chance to try deep dish pizza, Richie is tasked to pick up a pizza and the chef prepares their take on deep dish. Now so inspired, Richie asks if he can bring the pizza dish to the table himself. He gives them the dish and relishes in their excitement and bringing them joy. Himself now fully understanding what is so special about the restaurant and why everyone that works there is so committed to it. Richie starts to become a real member of the team, and he grows a deeper bond with the staff, and he feels accepted. He becomes excited to go to work and to contribute. Each day waking up earlier than the last, and even waking up before his alarm goes off because he finally is excited about something in his life. He started out as a character without the discipline to clean forks, and he's transformed into someone who was passionate about the work. As Richie's week is coming to an end, he's enjoying the work and the people, and he wants to stay on. But a new stage is coming next week. He asks Garrett about if he could maybe stick around permanently, but Garrett reminds him it isn't his call. Richie tries to make himself feel better by saying he is needed elsewhere, i.e. the bear. The thought of going back to the bear and reality brings Richie back to feeling lost and dejected. He's only now finally feeling like he's found something, and now it seems like he'll lose it. He ends up calling Carmen and takes out his frustration on him. He says he knew Carmen sent him here to just get rid of him and to humiliate him. And Carmen is confused because he genuinely wanted Richie to learn something, but instead Richie is reverted to lashing out. When Richie goes in for his last day, he runs into the head chef, Chef Terry, peeling mushrooms. Richie joins her and he asks her why she's doing such a repetitive task.
Respect. Feels attached. I think time spent doing this is time well spent.
Time doing the menial things is time well spent. She doesn't feel like she needs to relegate this task to other people simply because she is the head chef. It's still a part of the process, and thus it's important to her. She tells him about her failed restaurant when she was younger and how it was only after her 38th birthday that she started this one.
Never too late to start over.
After she leaves, Richie can finally appreciate the every second counts sign. It's not a demand that you shouldn't be wasting time, but rather it's a reminder not to take things for granted. As Richie leaves, everyone says they'll miss him and assures him that he is valued. And he finally feels that he's found something he excels at. In the subsequent episodes, Richie brings this confidence back to the bear. This change brings about happiness, replacing his previously grouchy demeanor, which stemmed from a place of self-hatred. The joy that comes with true passion gives Richie the strength to recognize and accept his own shortcomings, and even apologize for the ways he's treated others. The struggles that Richie goes through are so universal. Everyone has dreams and goals, and sometimes we fall short of them. Sometimes life gets in the way. We too often compare ourselves to people around us or what we see on social media, and we feel inadequate. We don't feel good enough. We feel like it's too late, we've wasted all our opportunities and potential, and there's nothing left for us to offer. But in this episode, Richie really learns that it's never too late to start, and that every second counts. By humbling himself and being willing to do some grunt work and hard work, and to respect and learn from others, Richie opened himself up to seeing things differently. And the fresh perspective gave him the motivation and courage that he needed to pursue his passion, and to really believe in himself. Anyways, hopefully that all made sense. For more analysis, check out this video right here. Thanks again. Bye.